This is Roger Maloney for The Spotlight. My next interview is with the founders of a conference called CoreConnect. I want you to enjoy and hear how these two ladies created their own innovative marketing and advertising conference.
How are you guys doing? I just wanted to say it was so good to meet you yesterday, and I'm so glad you brought Brooke today. Introduce yourselves and tell everyone about your innovative conference that I eavesdropped and I heard about. How did that come about?
Well, number one, thank you, Roger, for reaching out to me and eavesdropping and literally butting in and telling me more about wanting to know more about the conference. My name is Truthful Mirza.
I'm Brooke Vines.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. And we started a conference that's called the CoreConnect Conference, and it's all about how to make marketing more human.
Wow.
And we've had two up till now. One that was in
My hometown of Little Rock, Arkansas,
Oh, wow.
was where we launched it.
Wow.
and then I live in New York, so we did the second one in New York.
Oh, nice.
And so how it started about is I have a long history in marketing, and what we realized in the past, especially like 5 years ago, there was a lot of talk about just outputs and digital outputs and
Right.
social media and digital. And the conversation about what it is that we really wanted to communicate and how to communicate it became more sort of like a back burner question. And I felt that was so like backwards. What we need to do first is always understand what it is that we want to say, how we want to say it, so it resonates with the consumer, and then use technology to leverage everything, and
Right.
not think that technology is going to solve all your problems.
Right.
So that was the first instigation, right? And so 2 years ago we started to look into that.
Well, really, it started 4 years ago. At Advertising Week, we met.
Wow.
We were standing in line to get Seth to sign a book, right?
Yes.
Right.
For an hour.
Right.
But that was the year that programmatic was the big theme, and they said programmatic about every other word. And I owned a media buying firm
Wow.
at home in Little Rock, and media buying got really hard around that time. And so I was frustrated with, why can't we marry up the creative and the media side more? Why is it still siloed? And since she was on the branding side, we started having this conversation about what is it going to take for us to get brands to start thinking about it from the customer side.
Wow.
And that's what was the catalyst for the conference.
So after you guys did the first conference in Little Rock, what was the feedback from the audience?
Well, they loved it.
Nice.
Yeah.
And who were some of the guests you had?
It was the entire marketing community in Little Rock. It's a pretty tight group. I knew
wow.
most of the people in the audience. We had about 250 people
Oh,
attend.
wow. Wow.
Yeah.
And then when it moved to New York, you had I saw you had Monique
Monique
Nelson. Yeah, tell
Yes.
us, how was your panel, and talk about the audience feedback from the New York event.
So the thing about the way that we designed the conference, like we're at a conference right now, me and Brooke have been to a lot of conferences in the past.
Right.
And a lot of times what happens is you have these people that come on and they talk about specific topics, but they're not they feel a little bit fragmented with other topics in the conference.
Right.
So we wanted to make it really cohesive.
Right.
And also we wanted to really explore what is marketing made human in a very comprehensive way.
Right.
So we wanted to zoom out, and really at the end of the day, people are too focused in terms of marketing made human in terms of the market, but those decisions really start at an individual basis from an authentic leadership standpoint. So the human part as it pertains to leadership has to start there.
Right.
And then it actually funnels over to the team aspect, where you need to again look at human principles to make sure you're creating a creative, a more safe and nurturing environment for creativity to sprout. And finally, the third part is now you're going to actually reach out and connect to the market, your customers on a human level.
Oh, wow.
So the whole sort of programming and story arc of the conference is how are you going to create impact in the digital world that we live in by focusing on human aspects. That first starts with the leader on an individual basis, then the team, and then the market.
And it
Oh, wow.
builds. One
And it
section builds into the next.
Yes.
Brooke, the question I have for you is, as a woman from Arkansas, what advice would you give women who live in Arkansas to start their own conferences, businesses? Because I noticed that you guys created an entrepreneurship venture together, just meeting at Advertising Week. Give some advice to women in Arkansas, and I'm going to have you give advice to women in New York in a minute.
You know, I love when Elizabeth Gilbert in Big Magic says that if you're inspired by an idea, probably somebody else is too, and you have to run with it and commit to it with all you have. And I've really found that to be true. How many times have you had an idea and 6 months later somebody did that and you're like, oh, I already thought of that idea. So all I would say is chase your inspiration. You didn't get that thought for no reason. That is creativity that is given to you. And if you want to do something like that, just look for the opportunities and run with it. Don't be scared.
Speak to the women in New York City who they have an idea, feel a little intimidated. We're in New York.
Yeah.
They probably feel like, oh man, somebody already doing that already. Give them words of encouragement and how they should step out.
I think one of the things that's great about New York is there are a lot of women entrepreneurs out there. So there are actually a lot of groups that you can tap into. Even like at a coffee shop, if you see a woman that's just like working like mad, she's probably an entrepreneur. Like I've like come up to people
Right.
and have conversations with them, or at a meetup, or different groups that exist out there. So I think to have that camaraderie is very important. And I think because also New York is kind of more hardcore, you have to, like I was talking with Cindy Gallup, who's phenomenal. I was having a talk with her, and she said, you know, you just have to, you don't have to like ask or say, can I? You impose. You show up and you are bold.
Right.
And once you have a point of view, then you have to go all in.
Right.
And you have to accept that sometimes you're going to fall flat on your face, and that's just part of the process. It's not something. I find sometimes women take these things a little bit more emotional and personal.
Right.
And so we have to make it look more as an exercise, that it's normal that it's uncomfortable. It means that we're in a process of growth, and
Right.
to accept that as part of the process.
Share what I would love for you guys to do. If there's some speakers that are working in advertising and marketing, maybe they own their own agencies and they want to be a part of your conference, how can they reach it and get in contact with you guys?
You can find us through our website, or you can just email one of us. It's at brooke@coreconnectnow.com or chusef@coreconnectnow.com, but you can find us through the website.
Yes, and the website is www.CoreConnectConference.com. Core is CORE.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.